Hi lovely people, welcome to another tutorial of Sweet Kitty Crafts. I'm Yolanda and I want to talk about plying today. I spun up my lovely Rolex which were purple and pink, and yeah, I finished spinning them up, so I thought it might be interesting for some of you to see how I ply these. I'm gonna do the tutorial on my Ashford e-spinner. I'm gonna show you some tricks if you don't have all the supplies, or maybe you've got an old spinning wheel with only 1 or 2 bobbins, and you can still do lots of stuff without all the expensive equipment. So I'm gonna turn the camera now, so you will be able to see my spinning wheel, and I will guide you through it. See you in a minute. So here's my Ashford spinning wheel. If you buy a new Ashford, it is completely set like it is over here. You've got a lacy gate, you've got 3 big bobbins, and of course the spinning wheel. It's a very easy to use, but I still got a love-hate relationship with it because I'm not totally used to it yet. But it is easy to control. There's a forward and backwards button. The forward will do the clockwise spinning. Backwards is for plying only. Now, not only, because there are sometimes you want to spin your singles the other way around, but we won't get into that right now. There is a control on how fast your flyer will go, and there's the on and off button. I will remove this bobbin in a little bit so you can see how the thing is opening up. Originally there was a nylon string that is the brake band. I did not like that because it was so slippery. The bobbin just keep sliding and it just didn't pull in the yarn. So I'm as a standard I'm using some mercerized cotton, which gives me a little bit more grip. So that's the spinning wheel, and let's get started. Okay, let's have a look on how to remove the bobbin. So this is my spun yarn, and I'm going to wind the bobbin on so the yarn is not going to roll off. Just going to pull it in under a strand so it won't untangle itself, and you've got to spin it all over again. So there's a screw over here. You kind of loosen this and then the thing folds open, and then you remove the flyer, and here's the brake band that's going to come off, and so you released your bobbin. If you've got a spinning wheel with 3 bobbins, I'm going to show you first how to use that. Ideally you've got a fiber, you're gonna weigh it, you're gonna divide it by 2, and you're gonna spin it onto 2 separate bobbins. Well, I'm not a person who always weighs things and measure things. I'm just starting spinning and enjoying myself, but the result obviously is both bobbins aren't equally full, and yeah, that might be a problem if you want to spin it in a 2-ply, because of course the 2 plies have to be the same length. Well, actually they don't, because you can always reattach the yarn and figure some new stuff out. So I'm gonna ply these until this one runs out, and then I'm gonna make a center pull ball out of this one. I'm gonna show you how to do that, and then we're gonna finish the plying with the center pull ball. So that is a technique handy also if you only got 1 or 2, no, 1 or 2 bobbins. 1 bobbin will work also. So this is an empty bobbin with a leader attached. There's a hole here where the thing will go in here. It's a little bit of fiddling and turning until it's going in, and of course on camera that does not work. Yeah, Yeah, okay. This fits nicely. Close the gate again. And yeah, screw it tightly. There's also a nice orifice hook. That's handy. This is the knob for the tension. I'm always struggling a little bit about how to weave in the yarn so it works correctly. I've always got a bit of a problem with this machine in the way it's pulling in the yarn, because it doesn't pull in like I'm used to. But maybe I'm just threading the thing all the way wrong, and if you see that I'm doing something wrong, please let me know, because I'm still learning how to operate this one, and yeah, there's always room for improvement. Well, okay, I changed the camera a little bit. The technology was not working today. It was a bit of a... Well, the thing wasn't working correctly. I hope it works fine right now. I'm just putting on the bobbins on the lacy kate that was provided with the e-spinner. So that's the thing I'm going to use right now. And I made a mess of the other bobbin, so I'm going to hope I can find the end real quickly. Yeah, obviously it did not work the way I wanted to, because it already was a mess, the first bobbin. That's a thing when you don't pay attention on how you wind it. I just made a quick knot. It's not important. I will turn on the button on the reverse setting, and just gonna start up the e-spinner and see what's happening. Yeah, that's all it is. Try to keep an even tension when you're plying, and yeah, really that's all there is. There are all kinds of ways to make sure your plying is even, and you can count treadles if you're on a traditional wheel. You can measure angles, all that kind of stuff. Well, I'm not that advanced, and I'm not that particularly picky, because I just eyeball it, and if it looks great to my eye, and it won't be perfect, I know it is not, but I'm enjoying the process. I'm trying to be a bit rhythmic, so yeah, the yarn will be fairly even, and I'm just plying away, and this goes much faster than the spinning, because yeah, it won't take much less time, and yeah, it just goes way faster. As you can hear, the e-spinner makes a bit of a sound. I don't want to call it a terrible noise, but yeah, you can't pretend you're not there, because people will hear you. And well, that's really everything that's to it. Try to remember to move your sliding hooks, because it will bunch up on one place if you don't, and yeah, it goes pretty fast, so you should really remember it. I'm gonna keep plying until one of my bobbins runs out, and then I'm gonna show you how to wind the centerpole ball. The way I do it is with a ball winder, so it would be handy if you have one. I have a hand driven one, and I've got an electric one. I'll use the electric one more because of my arthritis, and I got sore very soon, very fast. So yeah, that's it. I will be spinning for a little bit more, and I'll return with the rest of the tutorial as soon as there's something new to show you. So enjoy your plying. Okay, well, it's a good thing to make sure when you stop plying, you attach your yarn to the knob or someplace else so it won't unwind. And now I'm going to show you my my yarn ball winder and how we are going to use that. that thing. Okay, this is my electrical yarn ball winder. It's a very noisy thing, but as most electrical stuff, it is noisy. But yeah, that's just the way it is. It's a handy thing. It's a boy yarn ball winder. I just make a little knot on the end because it's easy to slide off, and just turn on the power, and yeah, there it goes. It's just gonna wind me a very nice and even center pull ball, which we are going to spin from in a little bit. There's also the option, of course, because the electrical equipment is quite pricey, just to use your hand-operated yarn ball winder, which will be equal. Well, yeah, it just it's giving you an equal result. So there's no way you should not use that one. It's just working the same. I'm just gonna wind this off camera, and I'm gonna see you in a little bit. Okay, well, I've wound down all the yarn, and I'm at the end now. If you are going to remove the yarn cake from your yarn ball winder, just make sure about a few things. And make sure you got a little business card, or a cut up toilet paper roll, or maybe a pencil at hand, and kind of fold it in half and kind of put it in the inside of the yarn cake, because if it's going to collapse, you're going to be in a big mess to find your ends again. So this is the inside of the yarn ball, and make sure you keep a hold of it and don't lose it. And as soon as I've released the thing, I'm going to put my thumb or finger or whatever in there, and just gonna put the little card inside. This way it won't collapse on the inside, and it will be all tangled up, and then it's really gonna be a mess if it's collapsing, and you won't be able to spin from it again. So this is the way it is. There's a little card in here, and we're gonna spin these two ends, the inside and the outside. So I'm gonna move over the camera again, and I'll see you in a little bit. So okay, before you start joining, it would be handy if you got a little bit of yarn left on the first bobbin, because it's just a bit nicer if the joints aren't, both of the joints from the in and the outside of the ball are not exactly at the same side. So there will be a big, yeah, you can always see a little bit of a join. So try to put them in separate places. Okay, well, we I'm gonna move the camera a bit over. I'm gonna sandwich the new yarn between the two plies I already had, so it will be cut in there, and I'm gonna put the thing on now, and just let it slide in between, and gone it is. So you do a little bit of plying, and then when you really run out of yarn, you're gonna do and sandwich the other half. Which I'm gonna do now. Just gonna break my yarn. Pull it off a little bit. Put the thing off because it's going that fast. And I'm just a bit juggling with the stuff. Okay, well, another little sandwich. Just put it in between and let it wind on already. And we're going to start plying again. There's a little pigtail here. Okay, well, here's the yarn, the ball we made. And one strand is coming from the inside and one is from the outside. So you gotta turn the thing a little bit once in a while and just keep spinning until everything is used up. The little card is preventing the middle from collapsing. Maybe you'll have to move it over a little bit, or just pull it out a little bit if you're getting at the end, because the ball will get weak and collapse maybe a little bit. Yeah, just actually all the thing that is to it, supplying your own yarn. And of course you don't need an ear spinner to do this. This works equally the same on your traditional wheel, and it's a fun way, and you don't need much of equipment to ply this way. And the other thing to do after this is wind it on a knit and knotty and soak it, and then the yarn will set and will stay in the shape as you applied it, and then hang it out to dry and you can use it. That's all there is to it. If you've got a little bit of problem about all the kinking stuff your yarn is doing, then it would be a good idea to let it rest before you spun it. You can let it rest for a few days, and ideally longer, and then it will behave, because it has been in that state for a little while, so it will forget it was all curled up. So it will straight out a little bit more, and you won't have that much trouble with little pigtails arriving all the time. So I hope you enjoy this one. I might show you how to wind on your niddy noddy. That might be interesting too. And hope you enjoy, hope you like, and please subscribe if you want to follow me. Have fun, and be crafty, and try learn new things and techniques, and just most of all, please have fun, and bye till next time.